Hospital Porter's pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Hapanwo TV. Well, I'm off on another adventure, yes. I'm going to storm Area 51. No, of course I'm not. I'm actually going to the Awakenings conference in Manchester. This is really quite something. I've been meaning to go to this for so long, and now I'm going. Let me show you a little bit more about it. And this is the event I'm going to. Awakening, Manchester 2019, July the 19th and 20th. It's the third one. I haven't been to any of the others. This is the first one I'm going to. Keep searching, keep watching, keep thinking, keep asking. That's a good motto. As awaken and explore the truth. So, what's it all about, Mum? What's it all about, as David Icke would say? Well, it says here, help us get to the truth in 2019. Right, I will do my best, I promise you. When I read this out, I'm not going to use a silly voice. It's not like I'm reading The Guardian. Okay, so here we go. Truth seekers from all around the world are watching the UK's push for disclosure like never before. Well, I don't think the UK are doing it. It's more sort of United States. But yeah, well, we're doing it anyway, and we're in the UK. Europe has never seen an event like this grow so quickly, with an incredible cast of respected researchers, spiritual figures and ufologists seeking their place within the awakening. Yeah, true. I'm one of them. The 2017 and 2018 expos have provided a foundation and safe space for like-minded souls to come together. 2019 will be the start of every truth seeker's dream. That's lovely. That's a lovely sentence altogether, or two sentences. The term safe space is a bit of a, I don't know, it has bad connotations these days, but it is a safe space. I mean, it is, literally. That's fair enough. That's what we're looking at here, I think, with this particular conference. The Awakening returns on Friday the 19th, Saturday 20th of July, for our most impressive speaker list lineup yet. Sure, it is pretty impressive, actually. You'll be seeing shortly the various people I talk about. I've even got a couple of little bit of film with them, which would be nice. Join our Ancient Aliens panel, Linda Moulton Howe, Mike Barra, and first time appearance at the Awakening Expo, David Hatcher Childress. We will explore all the evidence left behind on our planet. Oh, David Hatcher Childress. I've got a couple of books of his. He's got some bloody good books, actually, old DHC. I met him once in Liverpool at the what was it called? Oh, I can't remember the name of the conference, but it was in Liverpool. And I have a review of it, actually, and I'm going to just look it up. But it's they went round for 2 years. Ian R. Crane was there. Beyond Knowledge, that's it. Beyond Knowledge conference. 2008. There's another one 2009. This was the first one, 2008. I've got a written review on the main Hapanwo blog if anyone wants to look at it. You'll have to search for it. I'm not going to provide links to that, but it's on the main Hapanwo website anyway. And DHC was there. He's very interesting. Yeah, it's Michael Dasari and Ian R. Crane. It was pretty good. Some of the videos are still on YouTube, actually. Anyway, back to Awakenings Manchester. They will also be providing unique presentations of their own over the weekend. Leading ufologist Richard Dolan will go deep down into the rabbit hole. I didn't meet Dolan when I was there, actually. Now, I met him at one of the Exopolitics expos in Leeds, but I didn't meet him this time. Steve Mera, well, I met him, yeah, and Barry Fitzgerald, yep, of course, I know those. I know Steve anyway. Will present a unique UFO course. David Adair will share with us his experiences of Area 51 and the Apollo missions. David Adair, he did a good video, actually, very interesting video about alien engines and things like that. He's been quiet for a while, anyway. Tracy Garber will take you to other worlds with her remote viewing experiences. Right, I did see Tracy Garber's presentation. I won't say any more because that comes up later. But I just wanted to let you know I had seen her talk. Sonia Grace will share the stories of her time travelling. This will be Europe's biggest push on disclosure like never before. Help us get to the truth in 2019. Yeah. We'll have an incredible area for healers, spiritual readers, exhibit stores, prop builds during the Saturday event. That's true. You'll see some of those in a minute. It's time to awaken and explore the truths about our place in this mysterious world. Join us in Manchester for an interstellar journey into the unknown with the world's leading truth seekers. Yes, indeed. And here we have, you could see here the agenda. It's actually not complete because they had this thing called panel. Oh, sorry, it was not a panel. They had this thing called Hangar 3, which had some people in like Well, I'll tell you more about that later anyway. But they've got Hangar 1 and Hangar 2 listed here. They might have added on Hangar 3 afterwards. But the hangars are basically auditoriums where speakers give lectures. That's what it means by hangar. And I'll explain more about exactly what it means when we get there. But as you can see here, there's Mike Barr, Richard Dolan, David Hatchet Childress. They got the Apollo 11 50th anniversary panels, 5 to 6 p.m. And of course, the 20th of July is the 50th anniversary of the first manned moon landing on the moon. That's a tautology, isn't it? That's a tautology, moon landing on the moon. The first manned landing on the moon. Or was it? Well, you have to wait for the new Apollo Detectives movie for that. That's coming out soon. David Adair, Linda Moulton Howe. Hangar 2, now that's Tracy Garber, Sonia Gray, Steve Merry and Barry Fitzgerald, Paul Sinclair and Chris Turner. Now I know those guys. I know the last two, Paul Sinclair and Chris Turner. They're pretty good. So you get like it's a long day. Saturday was open 9 a.m, close 11 p.m. So there's only one full day of this actual event. Just one full day. There's a Friday special evening Ancient Aliens panel on Friday evening, which I didn't go to. Richard Dolan, latest intelligence report. Barry and Steve did this UFO training course. And the ultimate weekend ticket, of course, is where you get to go to Friday and Saturday, and you can go in all the hangars. Now what I did, I got the Saturday General for Hangar 2 and 3, £10. That's what I got. So I could only go into Hangar 2, but as you'll see, there's more than enough in the Hangar 2 and 3 to keep anyone happy. In fact, if anything, well, I'll talk later about this, but there was an abundance of material in terms of educational material there. And I mean, I know, the thing is, as you know, you probably guessed, I'm recording this audio after the event, which is true. It's not, I don't make a secret about that, but really, I mean, if Hangar 1 would have simply be adding excess to a feast, I think. Although, I mean, I do like all the speakers they have in Hangar 1 are very interesting, but you know, it's £10 only, as you see, for Hangar 2 and 3 for Saturday. And you have the ultimate weekend ticket for that's Friday and Saturday, £80, and the Hangar 1, and then you have the Saturday Hangar 1 all areas £40. So there's a lot of choice here for every budget. And indeed, if you, I must say, I don't know if I make this point later on because I'm actually recording this about 2 weeks after the event, but I would say that the low budget deal, that is just a £10 Saturday General, excluding Hangar 1, is more than enough. I would say it's you get a hell of a lot for that. You basically get to go into the entire venue apart from Hangar 1. And there's so much in there. The Hangar 1 is virtually superfluous. No disrespect to Mike Barrow, Richard Dolan, etc. But it is. There's so much in the rest of the auditorium that if I had bought the Hangar 1, the ultimate weekend ticket with Hangar 1 as well, or the Saturday Hangar 1 ticket, I probably wouldn't have spent much time in Hangar 1, quite frankly. So, wow. Well, I'm sure you're waiting to see the rest of this video, so I'll stop rambling and send you back to the general narrative.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I'd be able to go to this. I keep telling myself, I've got to go to Awakenings, got to go to Awakenings. Because everyone who goes to Awakenings says what a wonderful thing it is. They say it's the greatest conference ever, and it just seemed to be the most elaborate. And it does seem to be quite high budget, although my own ticket was very cheap. It's kind of like, I suppose it's one of the nearest things we got to an American-style UFO paranormal conspiracy conference. And I'll tell you more about that when I get there. But I know that they have exhibitions where they have science fiction stuff. It's almost like one of these Dragon Con or something like that, which they have in the States, which are not really UFO related, but they are sort of paranormal type conferences. They're sort of paranormal type stroke comic and popular entertainment type celebrations where people get together with fans of various science fiction things like that. And there's a big crossover in those things in the States, less so in Britain, but I do get the feeling that this particular conference is similar to that in the sense that the Americans do it, so it's that kind of conference. I didn't think I'd have to go. I think I was going to miss it for a third time because everyone kept telling me, go. I know the Truth Seekers Northeast people are going. I'm going to be meeting up with Tino and he's going to be there. All the Cable Green team are going to be there. It seems like this is a kind of everyone and everything kind of conference. It cuts across factional lines, which in this day and age is extremely unusual, as you know, because I've talked about this, haven't I? As you know. So this inevitably means
I'm literally just
there's going to be people there I'm going to have to avoid. I don't know for certain if they're going to be there, but it's likely. In fact, I am certain. I know certainly there's a couple of people going on. I'm going to have to stay out of their way. But that shouldn't be difficult because apparently over 300 people go to this one, so it's one of the biggest conferences on the actual circuit in Britain. So I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't think I'd be able to go. Like I said, I thought I was going to miss it, and then everyone's talking about going. They said, "Ben, are you going?" And I thought, I can't. I realised I had work and everything, and then I looked at the prices and I thought, hang on, it's quite cheap. And so I sort of bit the bullet and I wrote to one of my clients because I actually have I work pretty much 7 days a week. Although in terms of weekly hours, it's probably about average for a full-time job, but it's spread over 7 days, so I work about 2 hours a day, Saturdays and Sundays as well. But then, so I wrote to my client I work for at the weekend, and she says, "So I'm going to be away that day." So what's stopping me? I thought. I went up just before I could even think. I couldn't think of any other reason, so I just went and bought a ticket and said, "Hey guys, I'm going." And I had to sort out accommodation. That's actually not been as hard as I thought because the Cable Green team I've managed to get in on their billet actually, so which is cool. Should be pretty cheap. And it's something new, something I've never done before. So I'm heading for Manchester now. I'm in Oxford at the moment. And I'm heading for Manchester. Sunny Manchester. Well, I hope it's sunny. It's actually raining a bit now. This jet-setting lifestyle I lead is quite something, isn't it? Well, coach setting. I do travel an awful lot. I'm going to Swansea as well next week. I'll tell you more about that when I go. So, and of course I'll film it, so you'll get to see that as well. Anyway, I've got to get to the coach station. Well, I'm on a coach now, but as you can see, the weather is pretty bad, so it might take a bit longer than usual. But it's 4 o'clock. So far, so good. It's on time at the moment. I've made it to a rather wet and miserable Bedford. I've been here before in nicer weather. It's not a bad place when the sun's shining. And just got to wait here for a while because in a little while I'll be meeting up with old Tiberius Kirk. He's going to come and pick me up and I'm going to do the rest of the journey with him, so should be fun. So I'll just go somewhere and get dry and wait for him to turn up. Good morning. It's Saturday the 20th of July 2019. It's 4 a.m. and it's starting to get light actually, and in a few minutes I'm going to be heading for Manchester, and it's a beautiful morning actually. It's not raining anymore, the cloud is thinning, and there is the moon. It's sort of waxing gibbous moon at the moment. Interestingly, today's the 50th anniversary of the moon landings, the Apollo 11 moon landings, and which is quite auspicious. Although, as you know from videos I've done in the past, and indeed, like the Apollo detectives and videos I will be doing certainly the week to come. I've got my own unorthodox views on that. But that's a story for another time. It's just heading off in a moment. I didn't sleep too well last night. I've got to get up at 3 a.m. and also, well, I'm excited. I never sleep well before a big event because I'm always excited, so I'm a bit sleepy. I'll probably go out like a light this evening, but it's now 4 a.m. and I'm awake. Good old-fashioned portering early shift. But at least it's not raining, and the forecast is actually for pleasant weather to come today. Good news. Oh, we're heading off now. Just left Tino's place. We're heading for sunny Manchester. Hopefully it'll be sunny. Here's Tino.
Hi guys.
You remember Tino from previous videos where we went to Rendlesham Forest and various other things we've done? Yeah, it's still dark, it's getting lighter. Should be at Manchester by about 8 AM, 8:30. And we're going to Awakenings, Tino.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Do you remember its full name, this event? I can't remember the actual full name of the event.
Awakenings UFO and Consciousness Expo, I believe.
That's it, Awakenings UFO and Consciousness Expo, yeah. It's one, I say, I've not been to. Have you been to both of the previous ones?
Yeah, I've been to all the ones up until now, yeah. It's good fun.
Yeah. I sometimes wonder why I've neglected to go to these, because everyone says how wonderful they are, and everyone's been advising me to go to them, and so finally on the third one I'm going. So that's about right. But it's quite elaborate, I gather. There's quite a lot of props and there's some science fiction things.
Yeah, there's a whole mixture, and I think we'll have to get you into the meditation tent, Ben, and get yourself psychically healed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think I need that. Yeah, like I said, it's all unknown to me. But this is kind of like an American-style conference, sci-fi stuff mixed in with UFO stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. So, hopefully it'll get light soon, and we'll keep you posted on our journey. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the clouds have parted and we can see sunlight. Tino's looking a lot brighter now. We're going to have some breakfast in a minute. It's now, what's the time? It's 6:10, and we're already in the Midlands, which has seen signs for Cannock and Stafford and places like that. And as you can see, the roads are empty. It's a Saturday morning. There's no football, so hopefully we're not expecting any major delays. But touch wood, fingers crossed, and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been a pleasant drive so far. I'm now in a service station here with Tino, and we've actually stopped at McDonald's now. I've had my first McDonald's breakfast. I wasn't going to, but I was corrupted to the dark side. It was Tino who led me in. Who let the feet flow through me. It actually has filled a hole. I mean, the thing is, there's another little place we were going to go to, but it's shut. It doesn't open until 7, so it's too early. So we had to come to it, didn't we? We didn't have any choice.
No choice.
It's actually not bad. You get a coffee. It's only $4.39. Got muffin, hash brown. It's not an advert, by the way. Oh, we've actually made it to Trafford. Yeah, this is actually just outside Manchester. Yeah. We've got a sat-nav only speaks in European, and we're actually heading now for the venue. And we made good time actually. It's just come up to 8 o'clock. So yeah. And that there is Trafford Centre, the famous Trafford Centre, and yeah, all the tourist trails here. So we're really looking good. We're heading for a place I've never been to before. But Tino has, obviously, he knows this. He's our chauffeur. Yeah, he's done a good job. So yeah, and it's clouding over again, but never mind. We're going to be indoors soon. We're almost there now. Oh, we're just going through a massive puddle. It's been raining hard along here. You can tell, can't you? So it's just like an industrial estate here. Sort of place you expect to see post depots and things like that. But believe it or not, it looks like this is the location, believe it or not, for a UFO conference. Can you believe it? Yeah, look, here it is. What's this place called? The Bowls. The Bowls? Something.
Bowlers Centre.
The Bowlers Exhibition Centre, yeah. Look at this. So here we are. So I can't see on the way. Excuse the singing there from our
a bit of Del Shannon there.
Oh, look, here it is. Oh, there's some people here already.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And we've arrived. Don't see anyone I recognise, but we'll soon will, I'm sure. Yay.
Oh, this is a song. This is a tune.
This is... Oh, it's Morricone, isn't it? The old... Here we are. Venue now. I've got like a... As you see... I have my Dark Conspiracy hat on, and I've got my UFO Tea Shop, my UFO identification T-shirt. The problem is, as you'll see, it's getting a bit threadbare.
It's in this box here.
But I still think this is very witty. I still think it's very funny. So
not at all. No.
Yeah. But we've arrived, so a few people started arriving. None of the people we have to avoid are here yet. Just waiting for some more friends to turn up because we've got a stall for Capel Green. Just got here, we're just setting up everything in the... This is the auditorium. We're just setting up, that's the Capel Green stall there. But get a load of it, look at the aliens. There's aliens. Space shuttle. Well, look at this is a real spaceship. It's an X-Wing fighter from Star Wars. I never thought I'd see one of those, real life size I think. Look, just got to go around this. It's the perfect time to see it when no one else is about. Look at this. I used to dream about flying one of these when I was a kid. Amazing. Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter. Right here in Manchester. I think we can go and sit in it later on. I'd love to go and sit in the cockpit. These are going to be DVDs of previous speakers. Mike Barrow, or maybe for this, maybe, oh, it's this one. Awakenings, UFO and Conscious Life Expo. Mike Barrow. Join the stars of Ancient Aliens TV show. And leading truth seekers for a day of intergalactic exploration and truths. Of course, 50th anniversary of Apollo, they're making a big deal out of that. Of course, because it is today. And there's David Hatcher Childress. And then Molten Hale. I think this is where they're going to be sitting actually. What's this here? Look. Celebrating Richard Dolan. Oh, look. And this here is Sonia Grace. Never heard of her. More aliens there. Look at this Egyptian hanger. The Sphinx. That's pretty good, isn't it? Oh look, it's a spaceship landed and it's E.T. E.T. phone home. Oh look, there's the bike and everything. It's a scene from E.T. Oh, amazing. Look at the spaceship there. Look at that. It's just, it looks, I think it's the same size as the real one. Look at that. Someone's obviously got a lot of trouble for this replica. They've really... I don't think it's the one used in the movies, but it's like... It may be a prop from the movie, I don't know. There's more painted and everything, it's just landing... I'm here, I've seen the first person I actually know, it's Lloyd Canning. Hey Lloyd.
Oh yeah, how you Ben? How's it going?
You'll remember Lloyd, he starred in the Bases Project video, you were in that one.
2014.
That's right, yeah.
That was my first exhibition of this kind.
Yeah, and here it is his wonderful gallery here. And you can buy these these little canvases of his various work. You may recognise some of these from various pieces of online, and Mary Rodwell's book and everything.
Mary Rodwell's book covers over there, and
these
Patricia Grutgen's book covers over there. We've got
these are lovely,
Peter Paget's image down there.
That's right, the Peter Paget book. I recognise that.
Yeah.
And you're doing some live painting, I believe. Here.
I'm doing some live painting at the moment. This is just a painting at the moment. This is like
a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. I've had this vision this week of this crystal city with clouds and stuff. So basically, it's just coming out, you know.
Oh, amazing! Where'd you get the ideas for all these paintings?
I don't know. It just comes. I've just got ideas that just come one after the other, after the other, after the other, and it's just continuous.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is cool.
I bet you've probably had some experiences. You may not remember them all, but
I've
you've had some.
It was a UFO experience that triggered off this whole genre of work. And since then I've had plenty of interesting stuff involving sightings and meditations and out-of-body experiences and things like that. So and it's all stemmed to this whole body of work that I work on.
Yeah, I really enjoy your paintings. They're really sort of alien, shamanic type paintings.
Yeah.
I think they're lovely. You got a website, have you?
I've got a website. It's lloydcanningartworld.com. It needs an update at the moment. But you can find me there, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, well check out Lloyd's work, it's really, really good.
Check me out.
Yeah. Big tent or inflatable tent, and it says here Spend 30 minutes with the planet gongs for an out-of-this-world sound experience with a cosmic octave. And here they are. These are the planet gongs. Oh, I think you can lie on those mats and you can see. Hello. Oh, looks amazing. Look at. I'll have to check that out. Planet gongs there. Oh right, brilliant. Oh, come and check those out. Looks beautiful in there. Looks lovely. Yeah. And you come. Oh look here. Area 51. Oh look, you get. It's a photo. It's a photo thing. You put your. And here we have the aliens at the spaceship. Area 51. No, I've got to get a selfie here. Look, yeah. Look. I've invaded Area 51. I've invaded Area 51. I've done it. And look, here are the aliens and the spaceship. Look at that, yeah. Here is the Roswell craft. That's like one of the Roswell aliens from the movie, the Roswell movie. Amazing. And we have here an astronaut. There's the moon. It's the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. So there's the Earth. There's the moon. And there is the spaceman. Let's get a. Oh, you go first. You go first, mate. Here's quite sort of. They're just doing a selfie there quickly, and I'm going to, and then I will. Then I'll go and do mine. And there we are. See, look. Me with the astronaut. The Earth. And the moon, oh look. And there's the moon. Look what's over here, planets. We have here. There's the Earth. I think that's Mars. Oh, hello. How are you? All right. Oh, good to see you, Catherine. I'll just switch this off. That's Mercury. That's Earth, of course. I think that's Mars. Yes, it's the three volcanoes: Arsiamons, Pavonis Mons, Arsiamons, and Ascraeus Mons. And then there's Olympus Mons, which is the really big one. And there's Jupiter. Hey, see you later, ladies. Enjoy yourselves. And there is Saturn and Uranus and Neptune. Uranus and Neptune. No, I'm not. That's the separate.
You're going to go
ticket, yeah. Is it starting soon?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look around.
Yeah.
And see the astronaut over there. Oh, yeah. Do you want to image yourself by the astronaut? I can film you by the astronaut.
Yeah, of course. You want to get some scale?
Okay. So we have a gentleman here. What's your name, sir?
Dave.
Dave. And he's sorry. And here he is. Next to is that Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin? I can't tell. Well, can you see the face in there? Neil, Buzz. Which one are you? I can't say. But it's the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. So there's Dave, and he's on the moon, but he hasn't got his spacesuit, so he's going to die. This here is the stall of Capel Green. Brilliant, look at that. The red and here is the trailer. And these, you pick up a flyer, pick up a Capel Green flyer. There we are, see, told you all about it there.
It was like a thick moon
Steve
that
Margera
was
there.
scanning.
And that is...
like he was looking for something.
Well, you won't be able to do this because it's afterwards, but look, you can win a property.
I watch the cameras.
Special competition. Oh look, we're here. This gentleman here, what's your name, sir?
Tony Barker.
Sony is promoting Capel Green, the true story of the Rendlesham Forest UFO. So real people, real events, it happened, yeah.
Definitely.
This is going to be a really good film. Tino here is the assistant director. Tony, you're on the team too, aren't you? Yeah, you are both. These are two members of the production team. It's a very much a labour of love. These people are giving up their own time. It's not Hollywood. You don't have a trailer, do you? And
no.
penthouse suites and
Not yet.
cocaine on offer. No, maybe one day.
One day, private island.
Yeah, we do. And so please do go and watch Capel Green. Get a seat and get in the competition here. When it comes, the count soon. Should look in for September, but check the website, cablegreen.co.uk. We should keep you updated. This is UFO Truth store here. Do get to the UFO Truth magazine conference if you can. And get a subscription. You can get one of these forms here, just fill out the subscription. It's quite cheap. And Gary is the editor. You know Gary, you've been in other videos.
Hello, Ben.
Hi, how you doing? Let's get your hat here. The Travis Walton.
Travis Walton.
Signed photo with Travis Walton there. Yeah. That's good stuff. I'll be at the conference, the upcoming conference pretty soon. It'll look really good. You get your special offers here.
Long time no see.
Yeah. Very good.
You used to subscribe now.
The Truth magazine, there we are. Nice. Oh, don't shoot! I've been killed by aliens! Ah! These guys are amazing. Look at these costumes, man. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my god. Got a ray gun and everything. Oh, wicked, man, wicked. Tino has been abducted.
Oh yeah.
I hope you get a good hard probing, young man. You want to sit down for a week. Food here, I'll tell you. We have the custom cupcake company, CCC. That looks nice, doesn't it?
Okay. Whatever you want now as well.
They smell nice. I smell it from here. But once I start eating these, I won't be able to stop.
Exactly.
You know, they're too tempting.
As well.
We've got fudge in it. Oh my god, fudge. Nice. Very nice. And here's something else. Oh my goodness. Dracula. Oh my god. Is this wine?
Yeah.
What, Dracula wine? It's not blood?
Can't tell you now because it's too early in the morning.
Oh, I like your t-shirt, mate. Oh yeah, too early.
Yeah, that's the name word.
Oh, wicked.
So everything is from Transylvania. It's linked with the Dracula, like the legend of Dracula, the Stella or Vladimir, like the historical character. Somebody nice wife, and over there we have somebody nice spirits also.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, so Dracula wine from Transylvania is the price list. It's Transylvania wine limited in. You can get some more. I have to grab a bottle of that later, but I won't drink it all in one go.
Okay.
And here's some spirits as well. Oh, look at Legends of Transylvania. Oh my goodness. Do you know Dr. Dan Farkash?
Yeah.
You know him, yeah. I've spoken to him.
Okay.
He's interested. He's from your country, but he's into UFOs. Talks about UFOs. A lot of UFOs in Romania.
Yeah. There is a famous forest near Cluj, the Baciu forest, and all kind of strange things over there. So it's slightly related. But it's a big country, you know, so there are a lot of energetic places over there.
Yeah.
So,
This book UFOs over Romania is very interesting because there's a place in the there's a church which has a really old mural which has a flying saucer on it. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, take care, mate. Thank you.
Never know. All right.
Good to see all this. Yeah. Oh, look. Just a perfect place for this, isn't it? Perfect tipple for me, isn't it? This is Hangar 2. I'm in Hangar 2 now. The way the Awakenings work is there's two separate auditoriums called Hangar 1 and Hangar 2. Hangar 1 is where you have there's Linda Moulton Howe, Richard Dolan, David Hatcher Childress, and I can't remember who else. And Hangar 2 is where you have the speakers we just seen, who are probably less well known. And it's cheaper. You can get just £10 and you can get into the main auditorium. I mean the main place, the main central area. And this is Hangar 2. And I've just seen Tracy Garber. And I heard the name Tracy Garber and I thought, don't know her. I've not heard that name before. But then they said, oh, she's married to Richard Dolan. I said, oh yes. So she's sort of like, she's not. If you're into UFOs, you all know Richard Dolan, and she co-hosts his program with him. But she tends to take a secondary role in that, so she's less well known in that sense. But she is like a person in her own right who does her own research, and she's really into remote viewing. And she's just done a really, really interesting talk. Though I must say I was a bit drowsy because I only slept, as you know, an hour and a half last night, and I kept dropping off. That's why I'm sitting on the back row, as you can see. Because actually, when you're on stage, you can only see the front row of the audience, but you can't actually see anyone at the back. Because I didn't want her to see me on the back row, and for her to think that I was dropping off to sleep because she was boring. because she's not. She's very interesting, which is why I'm sitting on the back row. Because I can't help getting drowsy and I can't help dropping off to sleep. That's the problem. But she talked about her work with remote viewing, and she started off talking about dreams and sleep paralysis. Now, dreams are amazing because dreams are literally like a second life you live when you're asleep. And anyone who has dreams, of course, most people have. Well, everybody has dreams. You can't sleep properly unless you dream. Most people remember some of their dreams. Some people remember none. Nobody remembers all their dreams. But dreams can be extremely surreal. On the other hand, they can be very normal. I had a dream 2 nights ago, which was extraordinarily prosaic. I was just in a pub, and they were serving these big German steins of beer, and I bought around people. Everyone was out, bought a round. It was £42.50. I thought that's too expensive. And then I met someone who I recognised, someone called Melanie, and I thought to myself, I know you from somewhere. Because I didn't recognise it's not someone from my waking life. It's very strange. Then she talks about sleep paralysis, which is extremely interesting. Now, if you don't get it very often, it's very frightening. What happens is you wake up and you can't move. You wake up from sleep and you lie there. And you can't move. You just cannot move a muscle. Your entire body's paralysed, apart from your eyes. You can't speak. You just lie there. You can open your eyes and look around you. And that's scary. Now, it doesn't frighten me because I have it regularly. It's something I get every week or so. And it's normal now. I just sort of lie there. Eventually, I just wake up. Usually takes 5 minutes or so, and eventually I just wake up. Sometimes I have to struggle to wake up, and I'm sort of like pushing myself. But occasionally we're remote with sleep paralysis. What happens normally, I just wake up and I see my bedroom around me. What sometimes happens is when I wake up, I look around me, and it is my normal surroundings, but there's something else there that shouldn't be. And it's usually an individual, a figure, and it's a figure wearing a big black cloak. I've seen a person wearing a big black cloak, like the ring wraiths in Lord of the Rings. Can't see their face, humanoid figure, and just stands there, just stands by the bed, size of an average man, just staring at me. And another is I saw like an elderly Chinese woman, sort of leaning over. There's been several occasions like I've seen the cowled figure. Now, some people have very unpleasant sleep paralysis experiences like that. For example, they see creatures that are violent. I mean, there's the shadow creature, the Hat Man. For some reason, I mean, these creatures seen by sleep paralysis sufferers all over the world, from different cultures, racial and religious backgrounds, and geographical backgrounds. So the very fact that people see these same creatures or entities in their sleep paralysis experiences, there's only 2 possibilities. Either every human brain on Earth is hardwired to produce certain images under certain states of consciousness, which in itself takes fantastic explanation, or we're seeing something which is objectively real. It's one or the other. It can't be both. It was one, and it can't be. There's no third alternative, I think. Sometimes people experience the creatures which actually attack them violently. One in particular that is very, very unpleasant is what's known as the hag. This is a woman, a very old and ugly woman, wearing a dirty, ragged dress, usually black, and wearing a pointy hat with a broad brim, and it has an extremely ugly, pockmarked face. And I've just described the Hollywood image of the witch, haven't I? In things such as Wizard of Oz. I wonder where they obviously. I don't believe sleep paralysis sufferers don't get that image of the hag from the movies, because some people who've never watched movies see the hag. It's Hollywood gets their ideas from sleep paralysis or from these creatures, whatever they are. And again, this is a very, very violent creature. It'll often sit on top of you. It's very heavy. It'll beat you, sometimes trying to suffocate you, sexually abuse you, whether you're a man or a woman. It's not fussy. Things like that. Now, the next thing she talked about was very interesting. It was out-of-body experiences. Now, I've not had an out-of-body experience. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's often part of the near-death experience. Often the first part of the near-death experience is an out-of-body experience. where you find yourself disembodied. So you have your sense. You appear to have non-corporeal sense organs. You can hear, you can see, you can smell, but you have no physical form, and yet you are in the same place. And very often you can see your own physical form, usually above it, which is very strange. Usually happens when people are asleep. Sometimes when you're under anaesthetic in operations. Of course, with the near-death experience, it often starts with that very thing. Usually, when doctors are frantically trying to save your life, you're sort of above your body, looking down, and you can see your own body below you. And some very interesting experiments have been done by people, including the Robert Monroe Institute, and Tracy mentions Robert Monroe and his books, Journeys Out of the Body, Part 1 and Part 2. And which is quite extraordinary. And it's actually been shown that tests have been done to show there is an objective reality to this. For example, they'll put a message on a piece of paper, put it in a closed box on a top shelf, and say, when you're out of your body, go and see if you can read the message, and they do. So that's very interesting as well. And now, overlays when you are in your normal state of consciousness, but you undergo some kind of mixture. So that it's almost like you see a panel in one side of your visual field, and it could be almost like a TV screen that appears beside you, and on the screen you see some kind of vision. And in the case of Tracy, she saw her father, and she saw that he was going to die, and he didn't know he was going to die, but she had a vision of her father's death, and shortly afterwards he died. So that's overlay. And the final thing she talked about was remote viewing. Now this is, of course, very much like it's kind of like an out-of-body experience. It's controlled in a way which means you can move away in your out-of-body experience to other areas and look at other areas. And this, of course, has enormous defence and intelligence implications. And of course, I've spoken before about the Project Stardust and the US government's official remote viewing program. I mean, during the Cold War, both sides used remote viewers to spy on each other. I don't know if you've ever read the book Penetration by Ingo Swann. It's very good. Ingo Swann was one of these people who were recruited through the Stanford Research Institute by Hale Puthoff, currently to the Stars Academy, and Russell Targ. Now, these guys were on a commission from the CIA. What happened was the public project finished and the whole thing went deep black, and Ingo Swann, it's gone, along with Uri Geller, who of course is very famous, were involved in this, and both have now confessed. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Oh, Catherine, hello, how are you? That's my friend Catherine. And both have now confessed, and have written books about, and while Uri Geller's, first Ingo Swann confessed, Uri Geller confessed in 2013. We confessed to John Ronson, the British journalist, in 2003, hello, and he confessed openly in a TV interview in 2013 that he'd remote viewed from Mossad and the CIA. It turns out his public image, his stage shows, his TV programmes, they were just a front for his CIA work. Oh, right. Looks like something kicking off again. Absolutely fascinating stuff. So do check out Tracy Garber. I mean, I'm not about to become a feminist, don't worry. But, I suppose she has been sitting in her husband's shadow, and she's well and truly out the shadow now. Right, so we've got another speaker on soon, so I'll get going. Oh my God, there's I'm here with Maureen and Dawn. You know them, don't you? Truth Seekers and and over there is Linda Moulton Howe. I've not seen her. There she is. That is the one and only, and the camera won't focus on the great lady herself. Oh, it has down now. That's Linda Moulton Howe, who is a really well-known UFO person. And there's Heidi behind her. There's Heidi. There's Heidi behind her. Yeah, he's Dave as well. This is Dave. We'll just we'll do like a video here. We're going to have a selfie as well, do a photo as well. And it's hey, nice. It's Heidi.
Hello.
how are you?
Good, I'm so glad you're here.
Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you again.
How'd you get?
You're Heidi then.
I'm the Heidi.
Come on, Heidi, get in.
Hey, Heidi.
Heidi, come on.
You're on KGRA with
Yes.
And yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh, you got one? Oh, look at your T-shirt. Look.
I got
you're on the star.
probed.
in Pine Bush, New York.
Yeah. Because
you remember Heidi from Scotland? Yeah, you were in the Scotland video. Heidi was in our Scotland video.
Yeah. Now I've connected.
That's
with,
me.
Hey, John.
You're a bit freaked out with that. So.
Oh, yeah. There's a bit of a queue. If you want to see Linda Moulton Howe, as you can see, there's a bit of a queue. But
Oh, Bill.
there she is. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if I want to wait in the queue because I want to see the other speaker. But yeah, I'm just going to have a look at some of the stalls. Have you seen all the stalls? I'm just going to go and have a look at some of them. Decisions now. It's all bloody annoying. I can't go to Hangar 1 because I don't have the right ticket. But there's the things there. Anyway, Hangar 2. I've just seen Tracy Garber, Sonia Grace. I don't know, but I want to see Steve Mayer and Barry Fitzgerald for certain. Paul Sinclair and Chris Turner. But over here, 12. We've got this guy here, Stephen Kirkbride, master from Secret Numerology. Now. Anthony Peake is in Hangar 3. Hangar 3 is that bit over there. Sort of, it's not really a hang. It's not really a store. Anthony Peake 1400. Oh my god! I don't want to miss that. Oh bloody hell! But do I go and see Stephen Barry or do I see Anthony Peake? This ain't fair. I can't bloody choose. Oh dear. I've just studied your T-shirt. Yeah. You've got these nice pendants around your neck. What's this black thing here?
Oh, that's a orgonite, I think.
All right, you've got two aliens.
Pine Bush one is a blue one, and that one's some rubbish accessory shop that jumped out and said, buy me.
So how do you get a job working in this place?
Oh, because I just know people. I know people.
Yeah,
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, it's because you are on the staff now, which is really great.
Yeah.
And I saw you with Linda Moulton Howe earlier, and
yes,
that's good.
Yeah,
of course
having a ball.
Oh, brilliant.
And as it's on your channel, can I do some plugging?
Of course, yes, go ahead.
Tom Reed, UFO Monument Park, Tom Reed. Have a look at the Facebook page. He's the guy, Tom Reed, look him up basically. A huge family abduction in Sheffield, Massachusetts in 1979.
Is that the one where they're trying to take away the monument?
That's the one.
Have they actually moved it?
They have.
Oh, that's stupid.
No, they haven't moved it, they stole it.
Oh, that's ridiculous because they said it was in the way. Well, it's in the bloody field. I mean, the path goes round it. It's ridiculous.
Let me tell you exactly what happened. It's quite a long story, drawn out story, but the person that actually put X marks the spot where it was supposed to go and measured out, and we had a witness with her, all legal, because it's a historic marker. It's actually in the historic record books. She put X marks the spot. It was all documented, and she, X years later, I think it's 2 years, maybe more, has decided to get it removed.
Oh dear.
We don't know the reasons for it. A lot of the population of the town apparently are unaware of the importance of it because of the bad press, the negative press that it's been given.
Well, you know what the mainstream media covers this subject. The T's especially get hard
town. A lot of the town residents, we're putting them right now, but a lot of the town residents were just under the impression it was some random guy that just came and plonked some benches and some solar lights and this big rock in the park. They didn't know what it was all about because number one, they never bothered to go and see it. And number two, they've been listening to the press. So we're trying to win them all round, which is actually working. And what's happening is purely vindictive by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
but it's gone legal now.
But that's I was really sad when I heard that happen because I know you've been doing sky watching in that part of the world.
Yeah.
And I've seen all videos from there and everything because your YouTube channel is
it's thanks to you.
Was it?
You christened it.
Heidi TTFN.
You said, at the end of every one of your videos, you say ta-ta for now.
Yeah.
That was you.
That was my idea, was it? Oh, right. I inspired Heidi for her YouTube channel. Oh, my, look at that. There's an alien. Oh, so it's a stormtrooper, isn't it? Got a tinfoil hat.
I like the tinfoil hat.
There's oh my god, who's that? There's like Spider-Man. And there's there's a... Oh, wicked. There's a Jedi.
Dude.
Oh my god. We've been inundated with all kinds of... Did you see the two aliens earlier on?
No.
Oh, there's some aliens, and then we've got a stormtrooper. There's a stormtrooper from the Return of the Jedi. What's that say there? Let's just check that out. Endor Death... Oh, inside job. Don't tell me the Ewoks did it. You see, the Ewoks appear really harmless, but that's their disguise. It's all part of the plot, you see.
Yeah. I saw a reptile yesterday.
What, in the zoo?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
A reptile, yeah.
Oh my God, is he still here now?
Yeah, I think he's here. He's very, very tall. And I got corner of the eye. I looked at him, and he was doing his sort of walking past while no one's watching. There was like a blank area behind me, and he was walking that way, and I just caught him. It freaked me out. The eyes went like that.
Oh, right.
I was like, did I just see that? Did I really just see what I just saw?
Scary, yeah.
It was. I was, oh, okay. Hi.
Yeah.
Eat me.
Well, some reptiles. Well, I mean, there's all kinds here. We've certainly seen a rat.
Oh yes.
A nasty. Someone who will not be named, but he's a sort of silver-haired ex-gay porn star who who I'm trying to avoid. We've seen him. I've seen lots of, but you know, there's been lots of nice people as well, like yourself, Heidi. I've seen so many other people that I like.
Yep.
And it's really, really nice. We're gathering here today.
And lots of people are really opening up about their experiences this time.
And I'm going to go see a numerologist now in Hangar 3. And then I've got to decide, do I see Steve Mera and Barry Fitzgerald, or do I see Anthony Peake? I wish I was two people in this place, because it's too much.
I know.
There's too much. That's the problem, there's too bloody much here.
And I don't, for my sins, I don't get to see any of them.
Because you're working,
Because I'm stupidly working. But I get to do the after stuff, and which is far more interesting.
Anyway, see you later, Heidi.
Lovely to see
Thanks
you,
for taking
darling.
part in Panlo TV.
Enjoy.
Here you got a virtual reality theme park. You go to one of these things here, and I suppose you put on some like Oculus Rift or something. I might go that later. Hey, that looks like fun. Definitely looks like fun. Look along here. I'm going to go through look at some of these stalls now. These are really nice. Like candles and that. That's nice. These Buddhas are nice. Here we have some nice pictures here. It's Paul Butcher illustration. Oh. He's pretty good, isn't he? Whole leaf Chinese tea. Nice tea. I mean, I'll have a cup of tea. Crystals and stones. That's nice. That's very nice. It's almost like fruit. You can almost bite into that. It feels like you would eat though. All these rocks and crystals. How lovely they are. Look at these things here. Go. Nice, isn't it? Lovely pictures here on these cards. Really nice.
What I don't do is I don't allow because in essence, these, shall we call them, negative
They're like little alien creatures. Nice, aren't they? Really nice. I'm not sure what to buy. There's so much stuff here. I'm not sure what to get. I like these. Oh, hello! Look at it. Oh, look, it looks like something from the Skull and Bone Society. Lovely. Yeah, with a gentleman here. What's your name, sir?
It's Darren Hale.
Darren. Oh, and you're here at Awakenings?
Yeah, yeah.
And so you're also a pro fan?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good
Roswell t-shirt on.
It's a good
Foo Fighters.
Is that the band, or does it's called double meaning, isn't it? Because of course it's a band, but
apparently it was their label that they set up was called Roswell.
Oh, really?
Apparently they did a gig in 2005 at the crash site. So
I never thought that the band actually came up with a name by accident. It's an old word for a UFO.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've heard they're interested in that sort of thing. What do you think of this particular event?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been. I've been to this exhibition centre before, but never been to one of these events before. Yeah, just like I say, I've only been here about an hour and a half, so I've come to support
Chris Turner and Paul Sinclair. They're on at 4:30, so.
Oh, but I'm looking forward to seeing their talk myself. I really
some
am.
friends coming over as well. Just waiting for them to turn up.
Find out a bit more about the British Bigfoot and everything that's been going on with that.
Chris has got Deborah's map. He said he's going to put that up or something.
They were sort of like testing the slides earlier. And I saw he's got Deborah Haswell's map where she's tracked all these different sightings, and that should be really, really interesting. And I mean, they produced 2 movies, and it's kind of like a real. It's massive amount of material, which is. Have you got been into Hangar 1, or you just got a ticket for the Hangar?
Just come for two really to watch Chris and Paul. That's Hangar 3, isn't it, in the corner, but it's quite small.
It can't be very nice because there's a lot of background noise there.
It's a bit echoey, isn't it?
I know that the Cable Green store actually turned their volume down so that these people for this, but. I look forward to that then, Darren, and I'll see you at the event, because this is my first time here as well. People keep telling me I've got to go to this, it's really great, but it's like, hey, alright mate, there's Paul there, that's it. So he'll be stored. But I've never been before, I just never found time, and now I've been here, I'm really glad I came. There's just too much, that's the only problem. But thanks very much for being on Panlo TV. We've got these lovely sculptures and things here now. You can see when worlds fall, little wooden carvings. You don't know this because you're watching it, but you can actually smell. It actually smells. It's like, hello, I can smell the wood here. It's really nice. It's actually got like a really lovely smell to it. Sorry. Yeah. It's like a. You can't get this on film, but it's you've got this lovely wooden smell, like a carpenter shop. It's really nice. Lots of Star Wars stuff here, you see. Yeah, and herbal medicines. Oh, cool. For teeth. Hello. There's a lot of stuff they're trying to ban some of this stuff. And here we have mind-body spirit. There's some lovely things here. Nice.
The energy one.
There's just so much here, that's the problem. Oh, that's a lovely picture. There's just too much here. There's so much here, I don't know what to buy. Spirit Guide portrait, oh nice. So interesting. I'm curious about that sort of thing. Oh, Barbara.
Well, it is, hey, and you can take one of these away and I can do it just from a distance as well.
Oh, thanks.
You don't have to be here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tune in.
Oh, right. Barbara Hudson. Are you Barbara Hudson?
Pardon?
Are you Barbara Hudson?
I have indeed.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is your. Oh, can I film your? Can I film your thing? Would you like to be on Panlo TV, my video I'm making? I'm doing a little video report of this event. Would you like to be on it?
All right.
You don't have. Do you want to be? You sure?
I'm rubbish with the camera, but
all right. So this is Barbara Hudson.
This is Barbara Hudson.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, welcome. And you're an artist.
I am indeed.
What sort of things do you draw?
I
or
draw,
paint? Or?
Well, yeah, it's called painting, even though it's pastel. So I draw people from the past. I draw people's past lives, and I draw guides and power animals, residual energies that are in buildings. Yeah.
So you're like a medium, but you use you draw pictures of people. Like you sense these things that mediums sense, but you draw like pictures of what they sense.
I do indeed, yeah. Some I see like clairvoyantly, but mainly I channel. So I sort of go into a very light trance state, and it's like automatic writing. So I don't know what I'm drawing until it appears on the page.
Is this the first time you've come to Awakenings?
It is, yes. I used to do my body spirit shows, but this is the first time I've done this one.
Me too. I mean, I've never never been here before. I mean, I really like it now I'm here. If anything, it's just too much to see. So I'm kind of like torn really between different things. But thanks very much, Barbara, and it's really interesting. I'll have a look at your thing here, and I'll look through it, and I'll maybe in touch because viewers do get in touch if you're interested, because I mean I am curious about these sort of things. I take the idea of past lives and guides seriously, and so I'll have a look at
something I've come into very late in life, and I've been excuse the pun, drawn to it.
Excuse the pun.
Yes, just a number of events have sort of brought me to this. So it's not something I knew about or sought or anything. It's just being thrown at me. As it does. As it.
Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you. And these books, I might well do, yeah. There's so much to choose from here, though. It's like, I'm like, I probably will later in the day. I just sort of like trying to work out what to do.
First time we've met.
I love books, I really do.
Well, you can't lean on them, can you?
UFO conference.
Mr. Wolford got away with that Bible.
I've got that one. I've got both those.
He's got them all.
I've got those two, and I've got.
You haven't got that one.
Irish Mutilations.
Oh right, I've not got that yet. I've been meaning to read that. Yeah, that's £8. Oh, so much.
Saving them last two for you and Colin.
Oh, thanks, Phil. Thanks very much. Colin. I haven't seen Colin today. Is he here?
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. That there is David Adair. Now he said something very interesting. There he is. This is his panel there. He's claims.
Hospital in the sky.
Yeah, this is Mick, by the way. Do you like to be on Panlo TV?
Well, yeah, probably. I'll get it on website.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mick's an old friend. He goes to Probe and things like that. But what's this kind of? Because he's right. Because we were just saying.
Yeah.
That. He said if they'd had his technology, there'd be no 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl or Fukushima.
Yeah, because this is dirty sort of nuclear fusion, isn't it?
Fission, yeah.
Yeah, fission.
Well, of course, why would we have dirty, dangerous nuclear fission power stations if free energy was declassified? That's why people died at these places. There's a TV show at the moment about Chernobyl, a drama about Chernobyl. And it shows how many people died as a result of trying to clean it up.
Yeah. I met somebody from Chernobyl. I did a charity bike ride for them. And after 23 years, is it? They still bring food with them, but the food they tested, tomatoes and that, still full of radiation. After 23 years, I mean, you probably get over it, but you don't have any radiation in your body, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. But there's no need to that. In Fukushima, I think it's half a Pacific were polluted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's terrible, that really. But if this guy does what he says, he's going to be ready in 2 to 3, 5 years, David there. And he said that'll help the world, even the poor people.
He reckons he's got a £1 trillion deal with the 1% of the alliance against the deep state or something. QAnon. The thing is, he better deliver something good with that money.
I hope so.
So it remains to be seen if he does.
Yeah, he seems genuine enough, what I mean. And I've got his DVD, so I'll go and see if it works.
Oh, right, seriously, great. Well, I might check that out myself. These books. I finished the 3rd book now, so I've got the trilogy. But it's hard work,
It is hard.
I'm trying to think of a new book now.
You've got to pay the bills at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Allies.
So if you are interested in what they are talking about, you can
Proof. You need to read these. Oh, I do. Yeah, I want to read these. Yeah, I know these guys, and they're Paul and Chris, and they're good guys.
I don't think the satanic cult was responsible.
Oh right, yeah, I've heard about this. This is mutilation, bring down the light. And now you'll notice. I've talked about this one. Don't mention the reptilians and elusive. And pushing head book up to show you. And this is Chris. Chris, how you doing?
Hi mate, hey Ben, how you doing mate?
All right. You'll know Chris, he's been in other videos and he's been on the Panway Radio as well. Yeah. So you're having a good time here?
I'm having a good time now, but obviously this is my first lecture.
All right.
I've ever done, and I'm used to being behind the camera, or behind the radio. So being in front of all these people is quite nervous.
Takes getting used to, mate. Takes getting used to.
Yeah, I think I might be all right after about 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
But I am nervous. I mean, the evidence is solid.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about is absolutely solid. So it's new. All this is new to me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, doing a talk. I mean, when I first did my talk, I was nervous, but you know, you get used to it. You just, after a while, I mean, you just go. It goes with the flow. It literally just goes with the flow, and you'll find it easy. You know, and you've got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, and you've done interviews as well. So, and like I said, the evidence is all there. I mean, what you've gathered is, I think, is solid. As long as you're confident in that way, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're showing clips from the film, so it's talking points from the film that we're bouncing off one another.
Good.
And there's a lot of, we've got some footage of a fairy in there. No one's ever seen it. It's bizarre.
Well, I look forward to that.
And I don't know. I say a fairy. I shouldn't say that. It's something anomalous in this footage. It's really strange.
I suppose fairy is a loaded word, isn't it? It's,
yeah, I mean, I say fairy because the family said that the fae told them that it was them.
Yeah.
Whatever the fae is. Whatever the fae is. So. Yeah, but that's enough. There's a lot of interest in what we're doing. So, you know.
Well, break your leg, mate. Look forward to seeing it.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
And you're welcome back on the Panmo show as well, because I'd love to get you and Paul as well, to talk about the books and these as well.
I think the only problem with the films, with this particular film Bringing Down the Light, is 90 minutes doesn't even scratch the surface. Yeah. So we're going to be doing probably a couple of more films.
Yeah.
Because new accounts are coming in.
It's often away and it gathers pace. I mean, that's the problem with Cable Green. This is why it keeps getting delayed. Yeah. Once you start going down the rabbit hole, it just never seems to stop.
Oh, absolutely, and that's exactly what's happened. So we'll just keep rolling with it. And this film, we're hoping will bring more witnesses out.
Brilliant, yeah.
Just to push the Bempton phenomena a little bit further, and it's been dubbed UK Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
That's rightly or wrongly.
There's a lot of similarities between the cases, yeah.
Yeah, so it's displaying the same phenomena.
I've not watched this movie yet, but I've watched the stuff you put on YouTube about it, you and Paul.
Yeah, I mean, everything that's happened at Skinwalker, as far as we know, is happening at Bempton. And the whistleblower that came forward about 6 weeks ago has confirmed that the military know about it.
Yeah.
So.
The government know a lot often about this, and they keep it secret. The government know a massive amount they don't know. They know about these things. There's massive amounts of material they keep secret from us, definitely. Yeah, but Chris, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
For being on Panmo TV, and you're welcome. I'd love to have you back on the Panmo show. That's the Panmo Radio, of course. And break a leg for this afternoon. Look forward to seeing it.
Will do. Thanks, mate.
Chris Turner on, and now we've got his close colleague Paul Sinclair. Hi, Paul. Nice to talk to you again.
Good to speak to you.
We don't often meet in person. I know we regularly interact online, and I've been watching your videos on YouTube. You've got some new books as well, and a new DVD. So, what's the Bempton phenomenon all about?
Well, the third book basically is a follow-on of the other two, and we've called it Bringing Down the Light, the DVD that you've seen us do. Me and Chris have put together. Chris has done a brilliant job on it, so something I couldn't do. But it's all research, it's all first-hand accounts, up close and personal to the first-hand witness. In some instances we've had to distort the faces because the nature of the phenomena, Ben, as you know, not everybody wants to openly say that they've...
Absolutely. Especially when there's government involvement.
We've had these strange military trucks on cliff tops. They're from Germany, I think, to be honest with you. I'm pretty certain they are. We've had them there while the phenomena's been unfolding and evolving. We've got animal mutilation taking place, and this isn't some kind of predator from the UK like a fox or a badger. Whatever's doing this is capable of removing their ears, removing their eyes. Pretty graphic stuff, stripping the faces of skin, no blood. On a large scale, and on top of that we've seen lights under the ocean. Bob Brown behind me has got photographic evidence probably here today, because I haven't got it. It's a multi-phenomena, Ben. Everything is presenting in this area. We're not trying to dress it up as being any better than the other prominent places in the world, but we are trying to say that it is as active as anywhere else in the world.
This is a global phenomenon. I mean, Linda Moulton Howe, who's speaking in the main auditorium, she's one of the first people who researched this. They find that animals turn up of all species with various sometimes farm animals, sometimes wild animals, with various these strange injuries. It's not just in the wildlands of the United States. It's in Britain. It's everywhere, isn't it?
Oh, good God, yeah, it's not confined to the United States. Now, we'll say this, and this doesn't make us any better, so please don't think I'm trying to say it, but I don't know anybody that's actually had feet on the ground and found these carcasses, actually when they're still warm. I've spent time up at there 4:30, 5:30 in the morning for over 18 months, finding them, when whatever's done the job has done it, and it's hit them with such an impact, it's killed them instantly. Now, interesting fact here, Ben, is now the animals have been removed, now the livestock's gone, we're finding birds with their heads removed, crows, puffins, razorbills, all sorts of different seabirds and woodland birds that shouldn't be. It's almost as though it's gone on to something else.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange thing, and it's alarming. But this is the truth. It's got to be told. This is a story that's got to be told. So thanks very much, Paul, and good luck.
You're welcome.
And break a leg for your talk later. And you're well. It'd be great to have you as a guest on the Panlow Radio, as Chris is going to be. Maybe get the two of you on together, do like a round table. It'd be really, really great. I know I've invited you several times. I'm trying to find a schedule for you, so apologies for not doing that. I hope you enjoy the rest of this particular event.
We will do. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya. This is Didwell. That's a question. Isn't it? This is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing.
That's right.
But of course, look at this board. This is one of my favourite subjects.
It was your lovely souvenir card.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I didn't actually see it, Richard, but thanks very much.
So we see it tonight, and after Apollo, he's still a citizen.
Will do, mate. Thanks very much. Oh well, this chap's just presenting the guitar's just giving me this. Look. Richard Dolan. 1920 Vortex Airship Mystery. Yeah, that's airships is what we call today UFOs. Vortex technology. Sorry?
Shall I film you?
All right, yeah, thanks. Maureen's going to be the camera woman. Hello. Yeah, this is one of my favourite subjects, the secret space program. Did we go to the moon 50 years ago today? Did we land on the moon? Or did something else happen? Because airships basically means UFOs. That's what it means. That's a word people used to use. One crashed out of the Aurora, Texas in 1897. In 1887 they started as a flat. Vortex technology, man-made flying saucers. Now the Royal Society in Germany, which the Nazis developed, so I'm not allowed to say that word, am I? The German people, the German oppressive regime developed, and we have here, now there was a craft over Los Angeles, I believe it was extraterrestrial personally, but the thing is, the technology of the secret space program is so advanced, there's a bit of in terms of evidence, there's like a crossover between the two phenomena, and you've got to ask yourself, are some of the things we dismiss as or say are extraterrestrial actually not extraterrestrial? They're made here on Earth by people with this technology? In some cases, yes. Operation High Jump. I knew a man who had taken part in not this particular operation, but one very similar. He died a couple of years ago, and he said it was basically to get the N-word out of Antarctica, where Mr. H, the leader of the N-word, was living, because he fled from Germany after the fall of Berlin. Roswell, of course, the Roswell Area 51. Now that's an extraterrestrial craft that crashed to the ground in Roswell, New Mexico, 1947, secretly salvaged by the government. They said it was a weather balloon. They maintain to this day that it was nothing other than a weather balloon or Project Mogul or something similar to that. Project Horizon. Again, this is Nazi scientist Werner von Braun. Now he was part of Operation Paperclip. He worked for the N-words, and then they took him over to the United States after the war. Wiped his human rights records clean. In fact, he'd been bombing people in London. Forget all that. But he's not going to Nuremberg. He's going to live a life of luxury in America. But anyway, they may have got some of the technology from Roswell and other crash retrievals. STS-48. This is a space shuttle. Oh, I've got now. Sorry, it's got 1967 Project Moonshadow. Covert operations, 300 genetically engineered and trained humans recruited for the secret space program and military service on Mars. I've not heard of that one. That's a new one on me, but wouldn't surprise me. And STS-48 is where the space shuttle captures what is without a doubt non-normal, abnormal spacecraft in space, not made by humans in right now.
Oh, Gary McKinnon.
Yeah, no, he's a hero, that guy. He almost went to jail because we're exposing the truth about what the government has hidden in its secret vaults. Luckily, he's free. He was not extradited to the United States. He's actually he's not even been prosecuted in this country, luckily. And 2040 SSP whistleblowers. Whistleblowers reveal decades worth of covert military operations, non-terrestrial officers. Yeah, the secrets. This is a really, really important subject, and really, when you get into this, you realise that, well, what were they doing firing essentially liquid-propelled fireworks at the moon in 1969 when they had all this? Why did they risk astronauts' lives shooting them up into space on basically a column of petrol 300 feet high? No. People have been to the moon, yes, of course they have, but they didn't live on a rocket. Look at all the various subjects on the secret space program, especially Andrew Johnston and CheckTheEvidence.com and Rich Planet, and of course my own Panworm blog. This is a very, very important subject. And we look over here, discover what's on the dark side. Oh, that's Gaia. So yeah, I'm not actually subscribed to them, so I can't. It's not an advertisement or an endorsement. However, it's the sort of thing I think I would like.
You've got 2 weeks free.
Oh yeah, I've got this. Vitaly just gave me that.
That's nice, isn't it? Free if you put the code in.
Oh really? So does this mean we can?
2 weeks free.
Oh right, I see. Oh right. I see. So I'm actually been offered a 2 weeks trial. Oh, that's great. Oh, thanks Maureen here. So thanks to Maureen from Truth Seekers Northeast for being camerawoman for that particular section.
You're welcome.
We've got some more Star Wars guys here. Look, you look mean, mate. Oh no! Don't shoot! It's Imperial Stormtrooper, yeah. By the spaceship. Oh, that's rebel scum behind you, mate. Wicked, man. Look at the seat. Very well. There's old Steve Mariner. That's done a very interesting talk. And Barry Fitzgerald, I don't know where he's gone. I won't say too much about their talk because the battery on my camera's going flat. What I'll do is I'll do like a studio section coming up at the end of this shot. So to say a bit more about Steve Mayer and Barry Fitzgerald's talk, it was interesting because they talked about certain wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation, specifically infrared light and ultraviolet light, and the belief that this actually constituted as a repellent. So these particular wavelengths stopped things such as ghosts, UFOs and things like that from appearing, because their thesis, their hypothesis was, as with John Keel and things he said, that there's a big connection between these phenomena. They're not just separate entities, they are connected, and you get one. When you get one, you tend to get examples of the other. They're good, actually, those two guys. They're a good double act. Tino was working, so he didn't get a chance to see him. I felt sorry for Tino and Dion and all the other people on the stall. I mean, Gary just keeps. Gary is like a workhorse, and he just does this all the time. But I don't know. Would you like to have seen some of the talks, Tino?
Yeah, it'd be nice, but you know, the film and the magazine's got to come first in a moment. So.
Yeah. Another thing that those two guys talked about was how spirits interfere to alter history. For example, a world leader or something like that, or a person in port, a human who is about to make a crucial decision, may get a visit from some kind of entity, and this entity will advise them. And there are many examples of this through history. I believe it was Alexander the Great who had encounters with several advisors, non-physical advisors, and I don't know the details about that, but I do remember hearing examples like this. There's some amazing. There's a couple of other things I've seen. I wish I could remember the exact details. Now, they talk about the Colares incident. Now, this was a very, very disturbing case that took place in Brazil in 1977. What happened was a number of people on the island of Colares, which is actually at the mouth of the river Amazon. It's an island on the mouth of the biggest river in the world. They started seeing lights in the sky, and most disturbing of all, beams of light were shone at various people, and these beams caused wounds like burns, but these blood that started leaking from it. It's quite similar. And these wounds bled. It was very, very strange. And several aliens appeared. One of them grabbed someone from behind and whispered something in their ear. I can't remember what it was. Several people died, actually. It was very worrying. The Brazilian government set up something called Operation Prato, which actually means Operation Saucer in Portuguese. Interestingly, it says it all, really, doesn't it? And so Captain Hollander was involved in that. It's a long, difficult subject, but what Stephen Barry discovered is there are magnetic anomalies in areas where you get a lot of paranormal and UFO activity. And they've got these maps that actually trace this, which is interesting because these magnetic anomalies can be found along the North Sea coast of Britain near Rendlesham Forest. I think that's very significant in my view. There was also artificial electromagnetic anomalies near Rendlesham Forest caused by the Spurn Head. What's the name of that? I think the signal station. There's the RAF signal station. Orford Ness, near Orford Ness Lighthouse. Apparently iron has been used to repel aliens. Now this is interesting because Brian Allen talked about this. Brian Allen talked about how there were coffins made of iron discovered in old Scottish graveyards, and it was believed that this is because the people didn't want the fairies taking the body away. So use of iron spikes, iron stakes and things like that. There's all sorts of other weird things they talked about, like they mentioned Colonel Philip Corso, his book The Day After Roswell, which did not impress me very much, to be honest. I've got a lot of problems with that book. I've written a full review of it on her Panwo main site. Apparently satellites are teleporting. They're moving from one place to another, which is very weird. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be moving under orbital mechanics, Kepler's laws. But apparently they move suddenly from one place to another. It's all due to magnetic anomalies, and the A-tip situation is very similar. So they're a good double act, those two. They didn't interrupt each other. They didn't talk over each other. Stephen Barry, they'd obviously rehearsed this about who was going to say what bit. Very interesting indeed. So I'll certainly be curious to see more about what they have to say. I've just seen Chris Turner and Paul Sinclair. I won't say any more to save the battery. Now, Chris Turner and Paul Sinclair are... Well, I know Chris Turner better than Paul, but they've been researching lots of things. I mean, if you remember I don't know how many of you went to RepCon, which is about the reptilians, which was in Bury, Greater Manchester. I was the MC of it. It was just a one-day conference. It was very, very good. Very good indeed. Of course, they've been studying the British Bigfoot, which I've done an entire video about, and I know this is controversial on the scene, but my view is the British Bigfoot is real. I've looked at both sides in this. I've talked to people who believe in both sides of this story, and I do think it is real. Now, Paul Sinclair's particular area of study, and Chris has produced a film about this, is the Bempton phenomenon. And this is... it's similar to what Stephen Barry was talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's resulted from magnetic anomalies. But there's an area of North Yorkshire near the coast which is a hot spot and has been since time immemorial for weird things happening. Everything from animal mutilations to werewolves to fairies appearing, aliens, UFOs, ghosts, etc., etc. And there's a picture. They showed a little video of it's like a video of a guy by the door, and apparently he says, this door's meant to keep the fairies out, and suddenly you see a strange shape fly across the front of the camera. It's very odd. Now, it appears the government are aware of what's going on at Bempton, and they're involved in it, and several people who Paul has interviewed have been told to keep quiet, which is very, very significant, I reckon. There's the case of XS-894, which was a fighter jet which crashed in the sea. Now, I know a particular UFO skeptic, I won't mention, was very, very scathing of people like Paul and called them ufological grave robbers, which I think is extremely unfair and extremely nasty for even looking into this particular subject. But the fact of the matter is, if we should be concerned about why this aircraft crashed, and indeed the pilot was killed in the crash,
It's not respectful to his memory. It's not sensitive to the feelings of his loved ones. Not to talk about it, because maybe we can save other pilots' lives. And Paul does talk about it. It seems there was a UFO connection with the crash of this aircraft. It happened around about 1980, I think. It was quite a long time ago. But again, that's connected to the Bempton phenomenon. And now the werewolf thing is weird, because they're not literally humans that turn into dog-like creatures, upright dog-like creatures. But there's actually a place called, it's called, what's it called? Hunmanby, which is in northwest Yorkshire, Hunmanby, which means the homestead or the village of the dog man. Hunmanby, in Old English, that's what it means. And these dogs, these dog-like creatures, they are actually like dogs, and they're upright. They walk upright in humanoid form. So they're rather like the Bigfoot, but they have like a dog-like head. And they have like other canine features, like paws, and like on there at the end they have paws like dog-like paws. Now there's one called Old Stinker, which is slightly south near Hull at the East Riding of Yorkshire. That's been reported for several centuries, and indeed it's not been seen since the 60s, but it was seen again in 2013, and I know because there was a werewolf hunt, and I reported live on it on her Panway radio, because I had someone who was like tweeting into me while I was on the air, and they were all going along with several hundred people who were on the werewolf hunt. It was quite funny. They went along what's called the Stirling Drain, which is like a big canal, to try and find the werewolf. They didn't find it, but it's weird that sort of thing happens. Anyway, I'll show you the souvenirs, and I've got a copy of the DVD which has just been produced. There's one guy I couldn't find earlier on, but now I found him. It's Colin Wolford. Hey, well, Colin, how are you? I've got Fier's Bark as well, so yeah. And Miles was here a minute ago. So I think that's everyone really, thinking it. But how are you? How are you getting on?
Yeah. Just a bit tired because I'm talking with Linda last night. Linda Mottman, so chatting with her, and yeah, it's been good. It's been just seeing that talk with. Mr. Sinclair was very good. Look forward to seeing the DVD. And hello, sir.
All right, mate.
Right?
How you doing, mate? How you doing? It's nice to see you. Yeah, that was to be honest, I was so drowsy.
No, that was the guys who are in there. They're selling their DVD and stuff.
I mean, it was just so long, really.
Just a mirror. I can't
How are you? Yeah, it's just like, because I only slept an hour and a half last night. I was so drowsy that I kept to sort of numbing on up. It was really interesting stuff. At Bempton in North Yorkshire, it seems like it's some kind of hotspot for all kinds of paranormal activity. Some of it quite sinister. Like werewolves. I mean, not literally a man turning into a wolf, but creatures that appear to be part human, part dog. And in fact, there's been sightings dating back centuries, but the latest one actually was a couple of years ago. I know because I commentated on it while I was doing the Panway radio, and there was a werewolf hunt near Hull at the same time. So, what do you think of all that?
I mean, there was mentioning the British Bigfoot as well and stuff like that. But it's all really interesting actually. I don't know. It's weird, and then also that government. I mean, they talk about the guy from the government. That was interesting as well. But nothing surprises me anymore. Really, it's all sort of things that go on. We just don't know, really, do we? That's the thing.
It seems a bit incredible. Almost everything seems more incredible than last.
What was that thing? Was it shaking the tree? Did you watch that bit of footage? There was something that looked like it was shaking.
That's strange. That was the Bigfoot. Now, I know not everyone believes there's a Bigfoot in Britain, but I'm having a look at the evidence. I think there probably is. There's distinct that there is a large cryptid living in the wilds of Britain, obviously very elusive, hence the title of the film. And there's avoiding human
contact. Could be something to do with portals, basically. We don't really know. I mean, I'm open to the idea that there's some portal areas, or it seems that they are very elusive, and I don't know. It seems, are they coexisting with us, or are they sort of perhaps like going through these portals and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've discussed before. I mean, Deborah Hatswell's talked about it on Dreaming Saucers. It appears that perhaps their numbers are growing now as greenbelt laws kick in, and there's more and more woodland than there used to be, say, 60 or 70 years ago. So
There's also a clip of like a fairy. Did you see that at the end, Ben?
That was weird, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's
I mean, it was this strange creature, this strange little object comes in through the door.
Yeah, like
At first I thought it was a fly. He says that's not a fly. And,
that's very interesting, I have to say. I mean,
yeah. It reminded me, and his wife heard a voice in her ear saying, "Are you happy?" This is funny because if you remember from my St. Fried's White video, I hear a voice in my ear. When I'm at the church, which is very strange.
What, asking if you're happy?
It didn't. I just went. He didn't actually say anything. He just went.
Oh, right.
And it freaked me out a bit. I'll tell you. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
No, I'm not had that. That's pretty.
So what's Hangar 1 like? Because you got the ticket which allows you to go to all areas.
Yeah, well, we saw Richard Dolan earlier there. Actually, that's the only time I've been in there today. But I think they've got some moon thing going on because it's the anniversary today of the moon landings.
Yeah.
Officially, if you believe you in there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool actually. Good turnout, and I think got Linda Moult and Hale on later doing a talk as well. But there's some panel about the Apollo 11.
Yeah, there's I mean, obviously, I don't have a ticket for that, but I have been invited to a talk Richard Dolan's going to do this evening. I've been given like a complimentary invitation by Gaia TV, but it's very nice. Yeah, Vitali gave me like a.
He's doing another talk tonight.
He's doing one this evening apparently. But to be honest, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go to it. It all depends on what the Cable Green guys are doing because I'm going to hang out with them.
Let's do a plug for the DVD.
You got one?
Let's do the plug for the
You got one? Oh yeah, is Jay here? It's holding up the. It's cool, bringing down the light. Oh my god,
how much is that, Mark?
Yeah.
Just come out today, £14.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, I get that then.
Yeah. This is Jay of the Ufology Group. We're all members of the Ufology. He runs it, and there's Colin. We're all members of the Ufology Group. That looks pretty good. Did you enjoy that?
That was awesome. It blew me away.
Yeah. There's a lot. I'll tell you what, it's like a real hotspot, isn't it? It's like a paranormal hotspot up there, and there's all kinds. I mean, some of it's sinister, like the animal mutilations and things like that. Linda Moulton House talks a lot about that. Yeah. But I mean, I've not seen this film. I've seen their stuff they've done on YouTube, which is pretty good. But I'm not very.
It was awesome. Completely blown away.
Has that got the interview with the government person?
Yes,
alleged girl? Okay, I might get that then, because there's apparently basically this guy he works for the government has allegedly been asked to monitor certain phenomena during, was it dusk, was it? I can't remember now, certain times of the day, and in Yorkshire, so basically. There's lots of...
I might see, are they selling them there, or there'll be some on the stall? I'm not going some on the stall down front.
Is it?
Yeah, I might get one.
Left? Oh my god, I might...
Oh, if there's three left now, there'll be none left. No, and you can order it, and Chris and Paul coming on my show as well, so on the Panmo show.
And you've got Truth Proof 1, 2 and 3, I think he's got the third one out now.
It's just too much to look at.
No, it's so much. There's so many books, so little time.
Anyway, it's now about 5:30. So everything is finished now in Hangar 2, but the conference does go on. I'm going to go over to the stall and see what their plans are. But, I might be going to see Richard Dolan tonight. Not sure. So thanks very much, Colin.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
It's now about 5:30. Some of the stalls are starting to close down now, so it's sort of winding up a bit. It's only a one-day event, unfortunately, but there's still a lot of people around, and there's still things to be done. Hello.
Hello, Ben.
How are you?
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, thanks. I think I might have one of these. I've just seen the presentation. I might get one of these.
They're 14.
Right. Okay, now up here is supposedly the legendary space spa. Do 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 do. Da la 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 da la la. Here we are. Look, and there they are. Yeah. You'll never find more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Oh look. Yeah, it's all lots of Star Wars themed stuff here. So let's have a look and see if I can. There's a gym here as well. Let's have here. Look, the cantina. Let's have a look in here then. Oh my goodness. It is like that, isn't it? That's a creature from... Do you remember that scene in the film? Oh, there's that thing, yeah. He's the one who goes up and gives Luke a hard time. He goes up and goes to Luke Skywalker. I remember that, yeah. He doesn't like you. Oh, look, there's... I don't know what all these creatures are called, but I remember them through the film, yes. I remember that one. That's the waiter. Oh, look, yeah. Oh, well, they're really well recreated. They're really good.
There's a few little robots and droids or whatever in the alcove.
Oh, thanks, brilliant. This is brilliant. This is good. This is. There's Han Solo going somewhere solo. Yeah, there's Tatooine. Oh, very nice. Seems like it's a recreation of the set from the film. Very good. Yeah. At least the creatures aren't moving around. That's nice. Here in this little booth here in the cantina, and just had a drink. This is just Carlsberg lager, very normal looking, and the bar looks surprisingly normal. Drinks are all normal, and this is just Carlsberg. It's surprising when I'm sitting here opposite this fella in this location that I'm just drinking a normal drink. It just seems it's all this normal earthly stuff next to all this Star Wars stuff. Cheers. What's that in bocce? That's what? Something like that. Or as R2-D2 would say, beep 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 beep. Okay, we cleared up the stall. We're heading out. Everything's now. We're now all leaving. So we're outside now. This is the end of the conference. It's getting late. I'm not staying for the Richard Dolan event, even though I've got an invitation. I'm going to go back to the hotel with it. I'm with the Cable Green guys, so I'm going to stick with them. To be honest, Richard Dolan, interesting chap, but you know, I'm just going to say goodbye to my other mates, and I'm going to head off. See you later. Goodbye to my friends. You can't smell this, guys, but there's a disgusting stink here. It's like sewage. I think it's a sewage works near here. Oh. Yeah.
Deep breath. It's like
Deep breath. I think I'll stay a while. He says.
Oh, yeah. What am I? It's like it reminds me of bloody Holland, where my mum's family comes from. There's fertiliser all over the fields. You can smell it everywhere. Oh God.
Bits of Ely, but can be a bit like that.
Yeah. Oh, gross. It's still going on, but some people are staying for the evening. Miles, I just spoke to Miles. He's staying for the evening, but I'm heading off. Miles is trying to persuade me to stay, and to be honest, I could stay because I've got an invitation, but I've had enough. I've seen enough. It's been a great event, and I'm tired. I'm really tired. And Richard Dolan's an interesting guy. So is Linda Monkhouse, an interesting lady, but I've had enough. I think the Cable Green guys are going to probably go and get something to eat. I'd rather be with them. I'd rather stay with them. I can't remember when I last did a little scene here, but it's now Sunday morning, and this is the view outside my hotel window. I'm on the first floor. We had a nightmare sorting out the hotels, the bedrooms. This is the third room we were put in. I won't show you the room actually, because Tino's still in a state of semi-nakedness, and Dion has got a towel wrapped around him, and he comes up the shower.
Coming back to bed. I'm lonely.
Oh, darling. But we eventually got ourselves a room with the three beds in. After they sent us to two with only two beds in, and we got a free drink for that. Yeah, but we're now. It's about 9 o'clock. We're going to have breakfast in a minute. But we had a dinner last night, a couple of beers. It was not much to report on. I slept reasonably well.
We discussed movies.
Yeah, we had a long talk with Dion about filmmaking and things like that. And so we now I'll go through the rest. There's still some more things I want to show you. I'm just always it's a coming down from the conference as usual, you know. Luckily, I'm not in any rush. I'm going home, and then it's not a long journey home. And then, we're driving obviously by Bedfordshire, where Tino lives. Then I've got to get a coach to Oxford. But then I'll go through the things I couldn't go through yesterday. I charged the camera battery up, so I'll be able to give you some reports on the other two talks I saw, because I only saw three talks there. And show you my souvenirs. Oh, and I've got some flyers I've got to give out for UFO Truth magazine, so that's good, isn't it? Well, we've actually checked out of our room now. We've had breakfast, which is a bit chaotic, and we are now, as you see, sitting in this conference room. We've decided to book a conference suite, and sort of, it's got all these like little pens and pencils and things, and all these little plugs in the middle of the table. As a matter of fact, as you can see, it's just a part of the lobby. There's no door, and it's just there's a gap there so you can get through. So I don't know why exactly this is here, but we thought we'd come and sit in here because it makes us look really sophisticated and pretentious. We're very pretentious people, you understand. And so Tony is sitting there, right? He just needs to wear a suit or something. He's sitting there with his beanie and his like tracksuit top. So when he should be wearing a sort of suit and sort of like speaking into a mobile phone or something. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Dion here is going to... We're going to have a little meeting here with Dion. And, it's all about the Capel Green movie. Yeah. Let's just go through some of these souvenirs. Now, I've got this is the book I've been reading on my journey up here, on my journey to and from the Awakenings Conference. It's Stalin's Englishmen, The Lives of Guy Burgess by Andrew Lowney. And this is about one of the Cambridge spies. Now, do you remember when I was, I've talked to you before about the books I've been reading, like when I went to Denmark, the book I took then. And I said it was research for the Roswell novels. Well, of course, I didn't... The full information I got from it, I didn't really use in the Roswell novels particularly. It was a concept for the Roswell novels that I then abandoned. But what I've decided to do is I'm still fascinated by the idea of espionage, and particularly the Cambridge spies. I've got books about the others as well. I've got Philby's autobiography, and I've got Donald McLean, a book about Donald McLean. I've decided I am going to write a new book, and it's going to have this theme. I mean, it's going to be like the others I've read. It's going to be another alternate history novel. It's going to be about, UFO, paranormal, conspiratorial matters, Hapanwo, TV-like subjects. But it's going to have the element of espionage much more prominently in it. In fact, it's going to have the element in it to begin with. So that's why I'm doing this research. I'm continuing with this research now. I had a feeling I would go this way, actually. So this is a very interesting book. Feel free to pause and read, of course. He was a good artist, old Burgess. Feel free to pause and read. That's just reviews on the back. Okay, so now this is just, I think this is just like a sign-up form. I didn't fill this out, but it's just a sign-up form for the Awakening thing. That's right, I can do that online. That's my toothbrush, and that is moisturising cream. Don't need that. My phone charger. A spare bookmark. That's what brought this with me, and realised I already had a bookmark in the book, so no need for that. And I've got some flyers here for UFO Truth Magazine conference and for Capel Green, which I'll be handing out at various places that I go to. Maybe I'll find some other places to put them. What have we here now? This is this is that lady Barb. This is Barbara Hodson, that lady I spoke to. You've seen her in my little brief interview of her. I've already shown you that. And here I've also shown you this. This is my invitation to Richard Dolan's event, which I didn't go to. What's this here? Someone gave me this. Oh right, UTC. UFO Investigators Training Course. Oh right, this is the thing from Mapheads, I think. So this is Steve Mara, Barry Fitzgerald. Yeah, this is something that Steve Mara started with Maphead, and he's now it's sort of like been expanded a bit. So he talked about that in his lecture. Now this is a book. I don't know if I filmed it, but I bought this off the Philip Mantle stall. I've been meaning to get this for a long time. Circle of Deceit. A Terrifying Alien Agenda in Ireland and Beyond by Dermot Butler and Carl Nally. These two guys, I've been following their work. They're very proficient Irish ufologists. Forward by David Caton, who I'm very familiar with, a British ufologist and director of the Animal Pathology Field Unit. So it's basically about the animal mutilation phenomenon, which of course was research pioneered by Linda Moulton Howe and continued by lots of other people. And here we have the back. There's Carl and Dermot. And there's feel free to pause and read. Silent Killers was the film from Rich Planet, which David Caton took part in. It talks about the animal mutilation. That's interesting. I've been meaning to get that for ages, actually, this book, and I'm glad I got it. This here is Bringing Down the Light. This is the film by Chris Turner and Paul Sinclair that I've talked about. I've been meaning to get that, and I have. I'm glad I got this. There was loads of other DVD. I wanted to get Elusive as well, but of course I got limited money. You know, I just got that there. And here's my program. Now, someone got this for me. As I say, if someone who was actually on the staff actually managed to get this for me, because they've sold out. But there was a few left, so I got this one. And there's this guy, I think it's a sponsor. Of course, there's a special feature for the 50th anniversary of the Apollo moon landings, 11 moon landings. And of course that took place on the day of the conference, Saturday the 20th of July 1969 was when the first moon landing happened, or perhaps didn't happen. Well, you've seen my review of the movie Apollo 11. And I've also done a live stream, which I'll be doing before I upload this video. Well, look, there's the agenda there in Hangar 1, Hangar 2, Hangar 3. Looks really good. There's not just a program; it's like a little magazine. I mean, annual, you know, like. And there's an article by Philip Mantle, Flying Disc Press, that's his imprint, Flying Disc Press, The Strange Origins of... Oh, alright. Gotta have fun with this. This is things to read here. Sonia Grace. I never saw Sonia Grace's talk, unfortunately. There's a limit to how much... See, there's too much... The problem with this is there's just too much here. If I got a Hangar 1 ticket, it'd been even worse. I just didn't... It's just too much stuff. It's just to do. It's... Oh, so, Moon Mysteries by Steve Mayer. Oh, yeah. That's good. Oh, look. I do believe there are, even if the moon is not a spaceship, I don't think it's a spaceship, but there are definitely, I think, open spaces inside it. What did NASA really discover on the moon during the Apollo missions? Oh, some people claim the moon landings did happen, but they found aliens on the moon and things like that. There's rather an amusing TV advert for where the astronaut breaks wind and there's this big monster. You've probably seen it. NASA versus UFO. By reported Linda Moulton Howe. Oh, cool, marvelous. A new course, light years ahead. Barry Fitzgerald. And I've got a few of the signatures here, which, well, my friend on the staff managed to get them. Not all of them, but I got Richard Dolan's. I got David Dare. See you in space, says David Dare. And Mark Bennett. Right. And a few more signatures there. Tracy Garber, a very interesting talk she did on remote viewing. And Barry Fitzgerald, who of course did a really interesting talk on with Steve Mayer, and I didn't get his signature. Well, I know Steve, so I'm sure Steve will fill it in for me when I next see him. Yeah. So I've got a programme and everything. So nice bumper crop of souvenirs there. I'm really pleased. I should have bought a programme actually when I first got there and didn't, but they do print some more actually, because they actually had on the stall the 2018-2017 programmes for sale. So when I go back next time, if I go to the next one, they'll probably print some more of these programmes. Well, now I'm heading home. I'm on my way back from the Awakenings conference in Manchester. It's my first Awakenings conference, the third one ever. And I'm so glad I got to go. It's been really good. And as always, there's a bit of a come down, you know. Got to go back to the real world. But we've had a lovely day actually. It's actually quite late. It's gone 4 o'clock because we were sitting in the hotel and with Dion and going through the movie, the film, they were doing some edits and things like that, and looking at some rough footage that they just filmed, and I got to see some of it. Dion showed me some of it, which was really nice, and I got to see the original beginning that the first 10 minutes for the film, which he changed, but I really was impressed. I can't say too much now because I've signed a non-disclosure agreement. It's threatening me with all kinds of things. But yeah, I did see some of the graphics, some of the computer-generated imagery, some of the special design. I tell you, it is as good as what you get in Hollywood. And the same goes for the first 10 minutes of the film. And they've done an interview, which has been really good. We've been watching that, and that was really something as well. And we've had a nice day just hanging around the hotel. It's been good. Tino's here as well. Do you enjoy yourself, Tino?
Very, very good. Very good for the film. A lot of new people found interest in it. Went in for our free prize draw for a couple of tickets to the premiere and a couple of other goodies. And more importantly, you are now part of the film crew, aren't you, Ben? Under the official title of Gaffer. Unfortunately, I now have to sack you because apparently in your role you cut through one of the cables, so you're fired.
I think it was actually cut already. I mean, I peeled off actually a piece of repaired, the tape that had been repaired. It wasn't a very deep cut, it was only slightly cut deep, but I don't think I cut it. I was very careful not to cut it.
No, you have an official present now as Gaffer.
Yeah, I am official Gaffer. That's the Gaffer, as you may wonder if you look for the credits of a video. People often ask, who's the Gaffer? What does he do then? It's actually someone who deals with electrics, wires and things like that, and plugs.
He actually deals with the lighting rigging. Because you were using gaffer tape, we will give you the title of Gaffer.
Right, I am the Gaffer. He's the Gaffer with his back against the wall. He's the Gaffer. Yeah. So I have now. I've been helping out, and I've been helped out on the stall as well. And as you saw, I showed you earlier, the stall is very impressive. There's the big screen there and the big banners. And there's a lot of interest came from that stall. A lot of people stopped and they looked at it, and I think there's going to be a lot of interest when the film comes out. So the film was a very good promotional mission for the film, I think, this particular event, and it was fun. It was fun to be part of that, and I'm really glad. So, well, next stop is what? I'm speaking at the Swansea UFO Network, which might have already done by the time you see this film. Speaking at Probe, going to Holmfirth, a lot coming up, a lot of fun things. So I've pretty excited. It's sad this is over, this particular event, and I was actually talking to one of the other guys today, and he made the same point that I did, and Tina, he made the same point that I did, that there's a real when you slam on the brakes at the end of a conference, it is like that. There's a jolt, it's culture shock, and you've got to decompress from this high level of frequency to the low level of frequency, and that results in what I call post-pro blues. But it doesn't just apply to the post-pro conference, it could apply to any conference. So that's not to worry. So onwards and upwards. So what I can say is to all you guys, thank you once again for watching Panwo TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.